What's up everyone, Bizis here. Sorry for the little mess you see here in the background, but I'm packing for a show that I'm giving tonight in this little venue for the really tiny audience. And well, I have a little problem. Because they only allow me to take one piece of gear. I wanted to get this one so I can play some drums and some samples. And I wanted to get this one because I can play some melodies in chord. But there is no space to place both of them at the same time. So the problem is that I wanted to play drums and the keys at the same time. But if there's no space for two keyboards, well, I was thinking, will I be able to program this one just to be able to play drums and synth pads or bass at the same time? Well, let's jump into the Ableton and let's try to experiment a little bit. Okay, I don't have much time, so let's get right into it. So first, let's do some tests. Let's find a drum kit while I'm playing my pads. I have the sound, perfect. But then I also want to add a little bass to it. So let's find a little bass. That one will be okay. Okay, let's try it now. Perfect. But then if I want to play on the pads, that plays the bass again. And when I switch to the drums here, I can then play only drums, but here on the pads as well. So is there a way to play both? So let's hold Control and Command and arm these two together. What's gonna happen now if we try to play? It's cool because we have bass and drums at the same time, but they all play the same. So it's not what I wanted. So I wanted to separate the pads from the keyboard. So how will I do that? So first let's have a look onto these MIDI channels. So we see you have a list of MIDI channels. So let's press the key on the keyboard. So we see the channel 1 wakes up a little bit here. So okay, we can try to assign this to the bass because that's what we wanted for the bass. So channel 1 will be bass. What about the pads? Let's arm the keyboard now. And let's hit the pad and let's see which channel will wake up. Okay, we see channel 10 is actually waking up a little bit here. So let's set the drums to channel 10. And then we have a bass on the channel 1. Now let's arm these two together by holding Command and pressing this little dot on the bottom. Okay, so let's try it now. Okay, perfect. That's what we wanted to achieve. Great, but what if things not go to the plan because my keyboard can have two separate channels, but what if your keyboard doesn't play pads and the keys at the different channels? So what you can try to do is, for example, this keyboard has some memory presets. So if you press this button, shift here with any of the pads, let's press shift and number 2, it's gonna have a different memory and different preset. We can check all that in our channels here. So let's try it now. So the pads are working on channel 10. The keyboard is now on the channel 12. So then we can properly set the separate channel for the keyboard and for the pads. But okay, the third scenario. Now none of these settings will work and your keyboard works exactly the same MIDI channel for both pads and the keys. What can you do now? Then Arturia, for example, has this really awesome piece of software, MIDI Control Center. We can now edit our keyboard, let's say the Minilab in this case. So we have all these memories here. So let's find a memory that we don't really use. Let's say number 6. I think I've never used this. And let's try to do some modifications to it. So we can program these pads. So let's click on the pad number 1. So we see the channel 10. Let's change it to, let's say, channel 6 as the memory is. And let's change all of them. So let's save it now. Click here and then store to the memory number 7. So shift 6. We are already number 6. Let's see if that changed the paths to channel number 6. Okay, so when I press they don't work, but now see they're on channel 6. Perfect. So I have this on channel 6 and the keys stayed at channel 12. Perfect. Okay, but there's one little problem. The venue asked me that whatever lights I have on my gear, they want them to be blue. So we need to change that on the keyboard as well. So let's go back to this MIDI control center and let's change the color of the pad. So we can go back to the memory 6. Let's press the first pad and let's change the color to blue of each pad. And also don't forget that we have more pads on the number 16. Okay, now let's press this magical store too. Okay, now when you change to memory number 6, all our keys are blue. So we have pads on number 6, and we have keys on channel 12. Perfect. That's what we wanted to achieve, I guess. I'm ready to go. Okay, now, perfect. I'm ready to take this bad boy for a gig. So, well, I guess, see you at the venue. And if you liked the video, of course, don't be shy, hit the like button, and you can always subscribe to my channel.